In this video, we're going to talk about the difference between this equal operator and this is operator. And we're going to explain all of these special cases as well. And also we're going to cover a lot of examples, more than 5 examples. So please stay tuned. So first of all, let's talk about the difference between these two operators. And after that, we will see that in action. We will see that in a lot of examples. So the key difference is that when we say x is equal to y, the difference between this equal operator and this is operator is that this equal operator is going to compare these two things in terms of their contents. So it is going to compare the content of these two things. It is going to compare the values of these two things. But when we use the is operator, it is going to compare whether these two things are stored in the same place in the memory, or we can say actually object identity. I'm sure that you haven't understood any of these things because I haven't provided any example, but I wanted you to get a big picture of their differences. So that's why I mentioned these things. But we are going to see all of these things in examples. So let's do that. So here, for example, if I type something like this, x is equal to a list, and that list contains 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3. And let's define another list. It is exactly this same thing. So as you can see, x and y has the same content. They have the same values. So it's very obvious that if I print x is equal to y, it is going to return true. So if I run the code, as you can see, it returns true. But the question is, if I type something like this, if I type print x is y, so the question is it going to return true? So if I run a code, you can see no, it is not going to return true. Yes, for this thing, I mean this equal operator is going to return true, but for the is operator, it is going to return false. Maybe you ask why? Well, the answer is that when we are creating these two variables, Python is going to store each of these things in different parts of the memory, in different places of the memory. For example, when we create this variable, it is going to store that in a specific location, in a specific place of the memory. And when we define this variable, it is going to place that, it is going to store that in a specific place, in a specific location, in another specific location of the memory. So that's why, because these two things are stored in different places and different locations of the memory, so that's why when we say x is y, I mean when we use the is operator, it returns false. And you can verify my explanation by printing the ID of x, which returns the ID of x, which returns the location of x in the memory. And also we can print the ID of y, which returns the location of y in the memory. So if I run a code, you can see this is the ID of x and this is the ID of y. And as you can see, they are different because Python is going to store each of these two variables in different places and different locations of the memory. So that's why when we are saying x is y, I mean when we are using the is operator, it is going to compare whether these two things are stored in the same place of the memory, which as you can see, they are not stored in the same place of the memory. So that's why it is going to return false. But now let's talk about some challenging examples. So let's talk about the first challenging example. So I want you to find a variable named z, and I simply type z is equal to, and for example, x. So here's a question. If I print x is equal to z, I mean if I use the equal operator, and here if I print x is z, what is going to be the output? Please pause the video and just think about it. So here if I run a code, as you can see, the output of these two things is true. And now you are surprised. Why? Because you are saying this. You're saying, okay, the values of these two variables are the same. So yes, I agree that the content or the values of these two things are the same, so the output of this one should be true. But what about this one? As you can see, we are defining another variable named z, and we think, at least so far, we think that when we are defining a new variable, it should store that in another specific part of the memory. So that's why you might guess that it should return false. But as you can see, it returns true. And maybe you ask, why? Why is it returning true? The answer is that when you are defining a variable like this, I mean, here you're typing z is equal to x, you are not creating a brand new variable. You are creating a variable and you are referring to that x variable location. I'm sure that you haven't understood it yet, so please wait a minute. For example, suppose that x, when we're defining x is stored in this location of the memory. So when we are defining the variable z like this, when we are saying z is equal to x, it means that, hey, Python, when you're creating the z variable, just go and refer to the location of x. It means that I don't want to create a brand new variable. No, I just want to create an alias variable. This is an alias variable, which is referring to the same location of the memory, to the location of x, which suppose that, for example, it is this number. So it is still going to refer to that same location. So here we are creating a variable, but that variable is going to refer to the same location of x. So as you can see, here we are defining the variable in this manner. So that's why it is not a brand new variable. It is not going to create this variable in another place of the memory. So that's why when we are printing this, I mean, x is y, I mean, when we are using the is operator, it returns true. And if you want to verify that, we can print the ID of each of these things. So let's print the ID of x, and also let's print the ID of z. And if I run the code, as you can see, both of them are stored in the same place, in the same location of the memory. Now let's talk about challenging example number 2. So here, as you can see, we are defining two variables, x and y. And each of them has this value, I mean 10. So it's very obvious that because they have the same content, they have the same values, the output of this must be true. But what about the output of this one? So far, you might guess that because we are defining two different variables, so they are stored in different places of the memory, so you might guess that the output of this line must be false. But if I run a code, as you can see, the output of these two lines is true. And maybe you ask, why? Well, the answer is that Python caches small integers, so the same object is reused. And maybe you say, oh, what do I mean by small integers? Because I said Python caches small integers, so the same object is reused. And maybe you ask, what is the meaning of a small integers? So small integers means -5 to 256. Theoretically, this is the range that Python is going to cache. But as I've said, theoretically, why I use this term theoretically? Because here, for example, if I even type 1000, and if I run a code, as you can see, PyCharm caches even 1000, which is far, which is outside of this range. So as you can see, PyCharm also caches these numbers as well. But even if in this PyCharm, if I go to another section of this PyCharm, if I go to Python console, so this was the editor of PyCharm, but if I go to the console of PyCharm, and if I type the same thing, so let's type x is equal to 1000 and y is equal to 1000, and here if I type x is y, and if I press enter, as you can see, it returns false. So as you can see, even in PyCharm, the console returns something, but this editor returns another thing. So that's why you shouldn't because it is not stable. And please do not use is in these cases. Yes, theoretically, when the number is between this range, it is considered a small integer, and Python is going to cache that variable. But as you can see, for example, the PyCharm editor, not PyCharm console, as you can see, PyCharm editor even caches some bigger numbers. So you cannot trust this process because it is not stable. Sometimes it does something, sometimes it does another thing. So my suggestion is not to use is for these circumstances. But anyway, theoretically, that was the explanation. Theoretically, when the number is in this range, it is considered a small integer. So it is going to cache those things, and the same object is going to be reused. The same is the case when we are talking about strings. For example, if I type a string like this, for example, hi, because this is a small string, if I run a code, as you can see, it returns true even for this is operator. But for example, if this string is longer, for example, let's type something and let's copy the same thing here. So once again, in the editor, if I run a code again, it returns true. But if I go to the console and if I type x is equal to this and y is equal to this, and then type x is y, and if I press enter, you can see it returns false. So once again, as you can see, it is not stable. As you can see in console, it returns something, but in the editor mode, it returns another thing. So generally, when we have small integers or when we have small strings, Python caches those things, so the same object is reused. This is the theoretical thing, but actually, as you can see, it may differ. It may be not stable because, for example, in the editor, you see that even for bigger numbers and also for bigger strings, it might cache it as well. So that's why I suggest not to use is in these circumstances if you want to compare these two variables. And also, let me give you another example so that you can see it is, again, not stable at all in these circumstances. So as you can see here, we have defined x, and it is high. And here we are defining high again, but in another way. So here, for example, if I print y, as you can see, again, y is high. And if you want to see the representation of it, so the representation of y, and if I run a code, as you can see, it is high. It is exactly the same thing as this one. So instead of manually typing high, I'm typing high, but in a dynamic way. I mean, using some other stuff. So here I'm defining a list containing h and I, and then I'm joining these two things to create high, to create this thing. So, but actually I'm not manually typing it. So here, again, it's weird, but when you are printing this, when you are printing x is equal to y, I mean, when you use the equal operator, yes, it returns true. But when you are using the is operator, it is going to return false. So as you can see, it returns false. Maybe it's because we are not manually typing it. So anyway, as you can see, it's very unstable in these circumstances. So please do not use is in these circumstances because, as you can see, it is not stable. And here are 2 videos which I suggest you to watch as well. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.